So today we're going to be talking about the invasive species, the lionfish. And in the background you'll see a picture of one. So first off, what are invasive species? An invasive species is a plant, fungus, or animal species that is not native to a specific location. So it's an introduced species, and which has a tendency to spread to a degree believed to cause damage to the environment, human economy, or human health. So lionfish. Lionfish originate in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, and their natural predators include sharks, cornetfish, grouper, large eels, frogfish, and other scorpionfish. And scorpionfish are actually in the same family as lionfish, so they are also venomous and have spines on their top fins. So lionfish diet include any fish that fits in its mouth pretty much. So anything's game. They can grow upwards of 12 inches in length, and some have been recorded bigger than that, especially if they're old. And they can eat up to 30 times their stomach volume. So imagine how many fish they can consume if it's a fully grown adult fish. Next slide. Invasive lionfish facts. Invasive to the Pacific Ocean and many other locations. They have no natural predators in the areas invaded, and they are highly venomous. They have 18 spines total. And they can survive at depths as far as 91 meters, which is 300 feet. And here is some anatomy on the invasive lionfish. So where their 18 venomous spines is on the top. Their venomous spines. Their anal spines are also venomous. And their pelvic fin has venomous spines. They also have spines that are non-venomous, which are the pectoral fins, anal fin, caudal fin, and posterior dorsal fin. Those include the non-venomous. So their lionfish venom. The lionfish venom is extremely painful and lasts about 30 minutes. Could be more or could be less. It depends on the individual. So some of the symptoms are swelling and great pain. This pain comes in waves. So for 1 minute, you could be in great pain and then it'll go away for a couple minutes and it'll come back even worse. So it's like waves of pulses. And depending on the person, it can actually require medical attention, especially if the person is actually allergic, which could be life-threatening. And a home remedy that I found includes withstandable hot water, which you can heat up on your stove in a big pot. Epsom salt, which you'll need about a few tablespoons. Hydrogen peroxide to disinfect the wound. Neosporin, which acts as an antibacterial and a light pain reliever. And an actual pain reliever pill, such as ibuprofen. Now with this home remedy, you want to put it in a giant pot, a bowl, anything that you could dump your hand into and leave your hand in for at least 10 minutes, because the symptoms will not go away until around minute 5 or 6. Lionfish reproduction. Lionfish spawn 4 to 5 times a year, so not many times. Females can actually lay up to 2 million eggs per year that largely escape predation due to repellent occurring in the fertilized egg mass. So they're able to avoid predators with this repellent. That's 2 million eggs within their 4 to 5 times a year. And huge percentages of lionfish fry, and fries is just a fancy name for baby fish, will mature and have little predatory stress. And the eggs are also buoyant so that they're at the mercy of the current, so they are able to go anywhere. So lionfish, and we're going to talk about the invasion of Florida. So during large storms or such as a hurricane, inconsiderate fish keepers that wanted to ensure their survival of the pets release them into the wild. And not knowing whether they will survive or not, it turned out that they are extremely resilient and hardy, so they're able to adapt. They also spread rapidly and require manual removal. So again, on their invasion, the spread. As you can see from the picture that is in the background, they can travel quite the distance, and since their eggs are buoyant, they can travel great distances. They are found all along the east coast of the U.S., even as high as up to Connecticut. But the worst population is in Florida and a little south of that. And they have a high density of populations in the south, such as Florida, Louisiana, Missouri, Alabama, Texas, and around the Caribbean. So, the effects of their invasion. Since they have no natural predators, they are able to have excessive populations, and they are extremely hardy. They're able to desecrate fish populations, and they mainly eat reef fishes, so the natural order and food chain is disrupted. And in fact, one lionfish can lower a reef population by 79% in 5 weeks. So imagine what a population of full-grown adults could do. So how it's possible? How are they able to be so successful in these new environments that they are not native to? For one, they're extremely hardy. This means that they're able to adapt to many variations of water parameters. And this means that they can adapt to colder or warmer climates, higher salinities or lower salinities, and that's just the basics. And there's no predators for their traveling eggs. So Florida's environmental threats. Fish populations decrease greatly with lionfish, and reefs suffer from these effects, since there is less fish to keep the reef healthy. And an example of this would be lionfish eats herbivores, and herbivores eat algae from coral reefs. Without herbivores, algal growth goes unchecked, which can be detrimental to the health of coral reefs, since they thrive off of sunlight and use photosynthesis to produce food. If there's algae covering the corals, they cannot do this, and therefore they will die. So how is this threat dealt with? There are actually many organizations that deal with this. Many have teams of divers that go out to spear the invasive lionfish. Others send fishermen with incentives such as rewards for whoever catches the most lionfish. And these tactics can be very efficient. And an example of this is something I learned at St. John's during a meeting that we had with the school. So somebody came in to talk to us about the lionfish populations around an organization that actually gets leads from people who have seen lionfish in certain areas, and they have a team of divers that actually go out and kill the lionfish with a spear, and they are able to actually maintain the population of the lionfish so that the reefs are unharmed and are recovering. So in conclusion, invasive species cause great harm to their new environments. They, in this case lionfish, come from irresponsible pet owners. And due to their massive spawning, the populations grow rapidly. And they spread quick too, from the buoyant eggs being dragged by currents, and their ability to repel. Conclusion continued. And with their quick spreading and mass spawning, they greatly affect ecosystems. With massive appetites, they destroy reef populations. They can ruin reefs, and if they're removed, the effects may be permanent since corals are very sensitive. But if removed quick enough, reefs have the ability to recover. All in all, they are bad. Do not release them. And this is my references. Thank you for listening.